5 things that a bad martial arts teacher can't do. Now, this video does not absolve anybody watching it who may have had a bad run-in with a martial arts school or a teacher. I don't know who you are. I don't know what happened. So if I happen to generally be saying something that happened to you, that doesn't mean I'm totally agreeing with you, because your teacher is just a person. And this is why a lot of martial arts teachers stray into, I don't know, this kind of territory. I don't have a particular order for these, but the first one is your teacher can't admit they're wrong. A bad teacher, they can't admit they're wrong. Now again, as a student, you might say, oh, well, I know I'm right and they're wrong. Well, that's not a great attitude, and you should listen to your teacher. But what I mean is, a lot of teachers feel like if they admit that they're wrong, it shows weakness in the students or with the students. And then the students are going to say, well, maybe I know better and maybe I know better. And that can happen. You can get a couple of students that want to be the top dog because they don't like the teacher anymore, or some kind of political whatever. So the teacher has to kind of hold on to that effect that they are the absolute alpha and omega. But a good teacher should be able to say, you know, I told you to do this, I didn't mean that, here's what you should do instead. Or perhaps I should look this up. Or perhaps I should look at this a little bit better. There's nothing wrong with admitting you're wrong. Some teachers, they just can't do it. The next thing is being okay with you leaving. I've had a lot of students in the past, and I've had or seen teachers who have had students who they just automatically, they go, oh, can you believe that person left? Oh, look at them, they're just working a job now so their family can eat. Can you believe that? They could be in the school. That's horrible. When you leave a place, if you left on good terms, again, if you've done something inappropriate or there's a reason why your teacher shouldn't love you too much, that's okay. But if I see somebody on the street and they go, oh, I keep meaning to come back, I say, that's okay. Life is life. You start something, you finish something, that's a cycle. So if your teacher is very angry at you because you don't want to be there anymore, well, that's kind of on them. So training somewhere else is kind of on the same page. Is if you go and train somewhere, a lot of jiu-jitsu people now, they go and they train at multiple academies and stuff like that. Now what's happening there is the same thing that happened with karate and kung fu and stuff like that. As the money and as the popularity starts to dry up a little, and jiu-jitsu is starting to dry up a little, then people will say, well, don't go over there, don't go over here, because your teacher might feel uncomfortable with you seeing what other people do. Your teacher should be confident in what they teach. They should be confident in what you're learning. If you find something else, something better, some students are meant for other teachers. Some students gel with other teachers. Even within my school, I'll have students that I taught that are now black belts, and other students will want to learn from them. And that's fine. That's good. So the ability to be able to go and train somewhere else should be okay. Again, if you're going there all the time, or maybe if you're paying somebody else, I can see your teacher being a little upset with you on that. Probably the second one that a bad teacher can't do is say that they don't know something. Now this sounds like the admit you're wrong thing, but I had somebody ask about guns the other day and saying, what about school shootings and stuff like that? And I see a lot of videos where people say, well, if somebody runs in with a gun, what you do is, and it's okay to say you should maybe try putting something in front of the door. You should maybe try scanning the room. You should maybe try, that's okay. But when somebody definitively tells you how to stop somebody with a gun, maybe they can, but why isn't that person just going out and disarming everybody in the country that's trying to kill somebody? Because it's not that easy. There's not a lot of videos of that. So it's okay for your teacher to say, well, you should keep your head about you, look for the entrances and the exits and everything else, but it should be okay for your teacher to say, but you know, I don't know. It can be chaotic. In a real fight, you can try this, hold them, contain them, but I don't know. Fights are chaotic. The thing is, we don't allow the teacher to be wrong. And that's partially the student's fault, because when the teacher's wrong, again, it kind of builds that mutiny. I don't know what he's doing, let's get him. Well, it should be okay for the teacher to say, well, I don't know. I've studied Gracie Jiu-jitsu, I've studied some Krav Maga, I've done many styles of karate and kung fu and all that. I've studied all the knife and gun and club defense and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, I don't know. I can show you some things and you can pray, but that gun gives them a lot of leverage. The last thing that a bad teacher can't do is lose. Now, again, I kind of feel for teachers nowadays, especially in the mixed martial arts Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu world, because people will go to an academy just to headhunt for the teacher. And there's a lot of YouTube videos out there of people showing how they beat the guy up at some school, or a dojo stormed here, or whatever, academy, whatever. But, okay, if they lose, good match. That doesn't mean that they're horrible and the school should be closed up immediately. It means they're human. It means maybe they gave it to you, maybe they didn't, maybe it was an off day, maybe you were lucky, maybe you're getting better. Gichin Funakoshi, who is the man who started Shotokan Karate, said the one thing a teacher should always search for is the ability to make their students better than they are. That's a good thing. So if your teacher loses, that doesn't mean it's time to put them out to pasture. It means that they lost. And they lost in the school. It wasn't a life or death match. So look for those signs. And again, your teacher's just human. People are just people. Study the martial arts, train for yourself, but remember someday when you're in that teacher position, you're going to have those feelings too. I don't want to lose. I don't want to be wrong. What if they go and leave me and stuff like that? So it's a lot to look at for yourself too. Springfield Karate and Fitness, you can come train with us. You can come train at some great places besides that. Good luck to you.